Chef Jay here, and this is Culinary Creations. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so what we're going to do today is create that perfect ending dessert to that perfect meal. We're going to do a molten chocolate cake, or you might have heard it referred to as a lava cake. So let's get started. What you're going to need to have are your ramekins. Now these ramekins here are going to allow you to get a nice size molten lava cake. What you're going to do is you're going to take your butter and you're going to make sure you butter the inside of those ramekins. Okay, so we've buttered our ramekins. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some of our cocoa powder and we're going to move that cocoa powder around, and we want that cocoa powder to cover everything. Okay, so we have coated our ramekin molds with our butter and our cocoa powder. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate some eggs. Now this is always something that people say, oh, it's so difficult. How do I separate eggs the easiest way? So I'm going to show you. You take your egg, crack it into a bowl. Make sure you keep that egg yolk intact. Scoop it right out from the side of the bowl, and your white falls right off. Okay? So you just follow that. Same thing. Each one, just make sure that you don't leave any yolk in the egg white. Right now we have our 4 egg yolks and our 4 egg whites. What we're going to do is we are going to take our remaining 4 eggs and we're going to break them into this bowl. Alright, so we have separated out our eggs. We are now going to take 2/3 cup of granulated sugar and put that into our eggs. Okay? What we're going to do now is we are going to whisk this. Now what you're going to see happening here is that it's going to get thick. Okay? Now I know you're saying, well, why are you using a hand whisk? I like to use a whisk myself. You can definitely use a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer or anything else that you like. I feel I have more control over this when I use a hand whisk. And plus, I'm really not in a rush. If I was making this for 300 people, it'd be a different story. I'm making it for a nice romantic dinner, so I can take the time to add in some love. So I'm going to whisk this up and we'll be right back. Alright, so we've whisked our egg and sugar mixture together. As you can see, it's nice, thick. It's a nice pale yellow color. That's exactly what we want. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to whisk our egg whites together. And again, this is something that you could definitely use a stand mixer. You can use a regular hand mixer, or whatever the case may be. Like I say, I prefer the control of using my hand. It's easier for me. So we're going to whisk these up until they get nice and fluffy. Then we're going to add in our sugar and we'll be right back. Now we have incorporated our sugar and our eggs together. We have our egg whites with our sugar in them. And the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have 2 choices. The first choice is to get yourself some bittersweet or semi-sweet chocolate. Get yourself a double boiler or a nice microwave safe bowl. Get 2 sticks of butter and put that into a bowl and mix it together and let it melt in the double boiler or in your microwave. Or you can get, and this is not a commercial, but you can get GR Deli makes a sweet ground chocolate and cocoa syrup, okay? And it comes out of the bottle just like this, all right? So it's nice, it's already melted for you, it's exactly the consistency that you want, okay? It's got a nice sheen to it, and as we know, GR Deli makes great chocolate. Okay, commercial's over. So, what you want to do next is you want to add a little bit of our chocolate. You don't want to deflate your egg whites because you did a lot of hard work there. So you take a little bit of your chocolate, you add it into your egg whites. Okay, about half is good. And then you just want to fold it in. And as you can see, I still have nice fluffy egg whites and my chocolate is completely incorporated. Next thing I'm going to do is add my chocolate, add half of it into my egg and sugar mixture. Okay, and again, we're going to fold. All right, so we have incorporated our chocolate in with our egg mixture. And the next thing we're going to do is we need something to really bind this together. We are going to add 1 cup of cake flour. Okay, add your cup of cake flour in. And you're just going to fold that in. Added our flour into our mixture. And what we're going to need to do now is get our cake batter into our ramekins. We want to do that evenly. So what I'm going to use is a ice cream scoop. Alright, so our ramekin molds are filled. What we're going to do now is we're going to put these in a 400-degree oven for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes, depending upon how soft or how hard you want the middle. Keep in mind, this is a molten lava cake. So the purpose is, when you cut into the cake, it should still be nice, pudding-like consistency in the middle. So you want to watch it. It's going to rise, kind of like a souffle. Once it rises like a souffle, you just want to check the outsides. When you see it start to pull away from the outsides and a nice crusty top form, then you can pull them out of the oven. Alright, so it has been 25 minutes, and as you can see, our molten cakes are nice and poofy. Yes, that's a word. We're going to let these set and rest for 2 minutes, and we'll unmold them and plate them up. We'll be right back. Alright, so our cakes have sat for 3 to 5 minutes. You want to make sure that they're nice and cool. Let them sit. Also, what you're going to notice is that they have start to sink in a little. You want to take a paring knife, or the thinnest knife that you have, and you want to run that knife along the outside of your cake. You want to maintain that integrity of your cake. You know, you did a lot of hard work. You don't really want it to get messed up. Pull your knife out. Okay? Take your plate that you have, the moment of truth, put your ramekin on there. Okay, get it centered. Give a little tap. And there you go. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to decorate our cake. So here we go. What I have here, again, great advertisement, Smucker's Platescapes. They're like the best thing for plating and plating design, and also one of my favorite design tools, a chopstick. Here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to incorporate our raspberry sauce as well as our vanilla sauce, and we're going to make it a nice little design for Valentine's Day. Here we go. just alternate your raspberry and your vanilla. Okay. You take your chopstick and you just run it from the top. Then you take the same thing on the other side. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our raspberry sauce. Take some of our raspberry sauce. And we're just going to put that before we take our raspberry sauce, we're going to take a little bit of powdered sugar and just go right over the top. Then we're going to take our raspberry sauce and ladle that right over the top. It's fine if a little bit drips down the side. That's perfect. And there's the dish. Chocolate molten lava cake. Enjoy.